Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to remove and replace the thermostat on a 2016 Jeep Wrangler. As you can see, it's in there, so let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to drain the coolant out of your engine, otherwise you're going to get it everywhere trying to replace the thermostat. So if you still have this plastic piece here at the bottom that blocked your radiator, you're going to need to take off these plastic pieces. You can see it right here. Basically, you can take a flathead, pop it in there and twist, and pop it from both sides. And you'll be able to get 1, 2, already pulled this one off, 3, and then 4, and then there are 2 up here. 1 here, and then on the other side down here, there as well. So go ahead and pop all those plastic pieces off, and you'll be able to take this plastic skid plate off so that you can access the bottom of the radiator easier to drain out the coolant. Alright, so a little tip on getting these plastic pieces out. After you've popped it up on both sides with a flathead screwdriver, you want a little wide one. If you just take some pliers, you can just pop on the top. I've already popped this up, and just kind of wiggle it back and forth and pop it out. It comes out much easier. You can buy a special tool to pop these off, but I mean, there's no need. That was pretty easy to do with a flathead and some pliers. So once you get all of those pieces off, next we'll need to set up a bucket to catch all of the coolant that we're going to drain out. Alright, so you can see I have it draining that latch there just to the left. That was pretty hard to undo, so you might have quite some trouble. I had to use some pliers and basically grab here and twist it up, obviously lefty-loosey, and then had to try to get some pliers in under this bar here and back in here, basically to loosen it. I have it set up at a flow rate that it's not hitting anything as it's draining into my jug, but it's draining very slow. So there's about 2.5 gallons of coolant in the entire system. I'm probably going to end up draining, I'd guess, 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of it, because some of that is in the reservoir. So I'll let you know once I have this done. And in the meantime, since it's draining so slow, we're going to start working on other stuff. So next you'll just pop this off. It just pops up, you don't even need any tools. It just pops right off. You can pull that off. Next we'll want to take off the air intake. Alright, so to get the air intake hose off, basically you have one flathead here and over here, and then 2 10mm bolts here. You'll pop, this is the radiator reservoir hose off of here, and then there's an electrical plug here. Make sure that you unplug that, and then pop this air hose off. So with that gone, you have easy access to your thermostat right here, which is in this housing. So you'll take some pliers, and you're basically going to clamp this together, move it off to the end of this plastic piece, or about right there, so you want to move it past that. And then there are 2 10mm bolts at the top right there, and then at the bottom right there. So go ahead, once your coolant is drained, go ahead and remove those. And I should have added, you can pop off your radiator cap. That depressurizes the system, makes it easier for your coolant to drain. So go ahead and do those parts next. So it was really only about 3/4 of a gallon there that came out before it stopped. You can hear it's going again because I took my thermostat off. So that relieves some of the pressure. So I'm going to try to, got minimal little drops. That's not that big of a deal, not too concerned. The couple of things, when you pop that off, you'll probably relieve some pressure. It might start flowing again if you have that open. So what you'll do is you'll take a flathead and you'll basically pry in here to get the thermostat off of this radiator hose. The other thing, definitely watch for, you could see there's supposed to be a rubber gasket here that's stuck onto the thermostat housing right there. So you absolutely have to make sure that you pull that one off, otherwise you're going to have a leak. So go ahead and remove that little piece there and remove the thermostat from here so you can put the new one on. Alright, so I put the new part on. You can see there are specific tabs that it goes to, so go ahead and put this radiator hose all the way up to those tabs, put it back on. Make sure that that's clean. Like I was saying, if you left that rubber gasket on, make sure you wipe that down real good. Go ahead and put this all back together. Obviously, you're going to put everything back on in the reverse of how you took it off. The thing to pay attention to is that the thermostat, so now there's air in the engine coolant compartment. So it's probably going to take a bit to suck the air out of there. So you're going to want to watch your radiator over the next week, check the coolant level, and especially your reservoir tank, because it's going to suck a lot of the coolant out of there to replace the air that's in there. So if you're completely replacing your coolant, you'll need to watch for that. Otherwise, hopefully you're able to reuse it. It looks like the coolant, according to the book, should last about 150,000 miles. So depending upon whether you felt the need to replace it or not, or just reuse it, totally up to you. So just over the next week, make sure that you watch that coolant level to make sure that your coolant doesn't get too low and you don't overheat. If your check engine light came on and that's what set you off to replace the thermostat, you can either reset the check engine light or you can go through a drive cycle and it should reset if the problem was the thermostat. So anyways, that's how you remove and replace the thermostat on a 2016 Jeep Wrangler. Hopefully this was helpful, and thanks for watching.